Is this some kind of joke? That's what Officer Ava Johnson said the second she stepped out of the cruiser, hand already hovering near her holster, mirrored sunglasses catching the morning sun, talking down to an old man like he was just another bother on her route. An old man. That was James Harris, 82 years old, boots still muddy from fixing fences at dawn, sitting astride a 1970 Harley that had more scars than most people do at that age. His eyes never wavered from the horizon, hands steady on the handlebars, not a flinch, not even a sigh, just the deep, unbothered breathing of a man who'd already survived every storm the world could throw at him. If you ask me, it was almost funny how the world gets things backward. There's James Harris, 4 decades of waking up before the sun, a farm out past Highway 340, a barn full of rust and memory, and a mind sharper than most city folks could imagine. His tractor broke down yesterday, hydraulics, easy fix, except the part needed a trip into town, and Harris didn't have a fancy pickup, just that old Harley. So that's what he rode, just like he always did, wind at his back, freedom in his bones. The thing about Harris, he didn't care about how it looked. If it worked, that was good enough. And at 82, let me tell you, he rode better than half the 20-year-olds tearing up the interstate, reflexes honed by decades of not just farming, but combat. Yeah, you heard me. Combat, though nobody in town knew the half of it. Anyway, that morning, he pulled up at the gas station right as the light went red, just outside town. Same place he'd been filling up for 15 years, engine rumbling low, steady like a heartbeat, until those police lights hit his mirror. Here comes Officer Johnson, 28, 3 years on patrol, all confidence and protocol. Her partner, Lopez, grinning as he sizes up the bike. Man, this Harley's older than my dad. They order him off, pat him down, treating him like he's confused, maybe even dangerous, and it only gets worse from there, talking to him like he's deaf, asking if he's got anyone to take care of him. You know the drill. Old man, old bike. Must be a problem waiting to happen. But Harris? He stands there, hands behind his back, calm as a summer pond. He doesn't need to defend himself, doesn't even answer half the time, just lets them dig their own hole. The crowd starts to gather, murmurs rising. Some folks pitying, some judging, some just filming with their phones, because that's what you do now, right? Poor old guy, somebody should call his family. Why are these cops wasting time? What no one sees is the discipline in Harris's stance, the patience of a man who's seen 1,000 versions of this same scene, just with different uniforms, different stakes. Across the street, Marcus Williams, the gas station owner, Gulf War vet. He's been watching Harris come and go for years, always polite, always reliable, and something about the way the officers are treating him just rubs Marcus raw. He calls the base at Fort Carson, gets patched through to an officer. This is Marcus Williams. We got a problem out here. A fellow vet, James Harris, being hassled by local PD. The guy on the other end of the line changes tone real quick. Did you say James Harris? Hold on. Don't let anything happen to Colonel Harris. We're sending a team right now. Marcus nearly drops the phone. Colonel? Back at the gas station, Johnson is raising her voice, threatening to haul Harris in for a psychiatric evaluation. You need a medical exam before you ride that bike again. Harris finally cracks the faintest smile, like he's heard this song before, only from enemies far more dangerous than a couple of rookies. She threatens force. He just stands there. You can feel the tension. Something's about to give. That's when the sound starts. First, just a rumble, then a full-on roar. Down the highway come a dozen Humvees, dust in their wake, 50 soldiers pouring out like a scene from a movie. And leading them, Captain George Farrell, all business, medals gleaming, face unreadable. Farrell walks up, snaps a salute. Colonel Harris. The word lands like a thunderclap. Johnson and Lopez just stare, their confidence draining away as Farrell lays out the truth. 3 tours in Vietnam, operations in the Gulf and Afghanistan, 2 Bronze Stars, 2 Purple Hearts, a Distinguished Service Cross. You disrespected a living legend. The crowd shifts from mockery to awe. Phone still recording, but now out of respect, not ridicule. Johnson tries to apologize. Farrell's not having it. Your job is to protect and serve, not humiliate. Never judge a person by their appearance. You don't know what battles they've fought. Harris starts his bike. The soldiers form a corridor of honor, and he rides off slow, proud, free. The only sound the Harley's low growl echoing down Main Street. And you'd swear the whole town breathed a little deeper right then. Later that day, the county sheriff gets a call from Fort Carson. This isn't about revenge, but something's got to change. The military wants every officer trained at the base to learn what service and respect really mean. A week later, Sheriff Smith calls an all-hands meeting. Officer Johnson stands up, voice shaky, admitting she made a mistake. What I learned was bigger than any rule book. Every person on the street carries a story. It's about respect, especially for the elderly, and for everyone who's ever been underestimated. And she means it. Not long after, Johnson drives out to Harris's farm. Plain white house, garden bursting with color, the old Harley parked under a shade tree. Harris is under the tractor, fixing hydraulics. She gets out, heart pounding, and asks to talk. He offers coffee, pours it into chipped blue mugs, sits across from her at the kitchen table. "Why'd you become a cop?" he asks. "I wanted to help people," she answers, not expecting to be the one under scrutiny. He asks how many accidents she's seen caused by elderly drivers. She thinks, not many. Truth be told, most are young, reckless. Harris smiles, gentle but firm. "So why'd you assume I was the problem?" Johnson can't answer, not really. She looks out the window at the old Harley, realizing it's been rolling longer than she's been alive. "Respect isn't earned by the badge," he says, "or the stripes. It's by how you treat others, no matter their age, no matter how they look." That bike still works, still gets me where I need to go. And so do I. As Johnson leaves, you can see it's changed her. Not just a lesson in protocol, but a lesson in humanity. Sometimes the people you think you're helping are the ones who've been carrying this country on their backs all along. That's the thing about dignity. It's quiet, but it endures and it spreads. And sometimes it takes a crowd, a camera, or a convoy of soldiers to remind us all what real respect looks like. So, what about you? Ever judge someone by what you saw on the outside, only to learn there's a lifetime of stories behind that face? Ever assumed, before asking, or listened only after it was too late? Tell me your thoughts in the comments. Share your story, because dignity isn't just about how we treat heroes like Colonel Harris. It's about how we treat everyone, every day. And if you want to hear more stories like this, hit like, subscribe, and let's keep this conversation about respect and justice alive.